I am incredibly late on this one. I'm done making excuses. Let's talk about paper. To start with, Super Mario RPG was released and received well enough for a sequel to be developed. This would be known as, well, Super Mario RPG 2. Yeah, aside from the change in development teams from Squaresoft to Intelligent Systems, the entire game changed, as now everything was done in a pop-up paper style. In Japan, this was known as Mario Story, but in America, as one of the last N64 games, we got Paper Mario. And man, did people love it. So much that a sequel was made 3 years later, The Thousand Year Door. Everyone ate that up too, so much was improved on. And a new game was released 3 years later, and this one was the black sheep for a while. Super Paper Mario was a drastic change to the quote-unquote Paper Mario formula. 4 years afterwards, Sticker Star was released on the 3DS. Not many liked it. At all. Then in 2015, Color Splash was announced to the collective mourning of Paper Mario fans. And then the game released and now it seems mixed. So, what are my takes on Paper Mario, especially since the first 3 Paper Mario games are actually really close to my heart? Well, let's find out. I'm looking at all 5 of these right here and right now. The first Paper Mario game is the one I have the least memories out of the first 3. Paper Mario is definitely a fun game. The story is incredibly simple, but it's Mario. If you want something deep, then read fanfiction, scrub. I can recommend you something. The plot formula for Paper Mario 64 goes like this. Mario receives help from Peach via her partner Twink. Mario goes to the area, meets the natives of this very progressive mushroom kingdom. What with the Goombas, Koopas, Bob-ombs, Cheep Cheeps, Boos, and Lakitus aren't immediately being enemies. Helps them with their troubles, gets access to where the star spirits are, beat the boss holding them, and plays Princess Peach sneaking around the castle in order to get information to Mario, rinse and repeat 6 times until Bowser. My favorite parts of this game aren't actually the typical gameplay where you play as Mario and your partner. And don't get me wrong, that's still fun and good, though I always enjoyed playing as Peach in her castle a lot more. It felt interesting since this was the first time you could control Paper Peach outside of battle since Mario 2 USA. Plus, considering how similar yet different her overworld gameplay was to Mario's, made it really interesting for me. Though the combat system is enjoyable, most of the partners are good to use depending on the situation, understatement of the year, and the abilities gained from rescuing the star spirits are also very fun to use, especially Miss Star's healing. I don't convene at shops too often. But all in all, Paper Mario may seem a bit rough around the edges, mostly in partner's character, but it's still a ton of fun, even almost 17 years later. Wow! I'm old! It would be an understatement to consider Thousand Year Door as just an improvement over the first game. Thousand Year Door makes so many improvements over Paper Mario. Going by the story, while it is still simple, we get better characters this time. And I'm talking about the partners, and especially Vivian, as she was a type of partner that I feel worked way better than Lackluster. Plus, I like how Bowser isn't the main villain this time. In the games that aren't that main platformers, I feel like Bowser's comedic nature works as either a secondary villain or as an ally. Plus, in terms of gameplay, not only is Paper Mario's original style of gameplay refined, not only are there more Peach segments with a new interesting partner, Tech, but we also get to play as Bowser, either in the overworld getting information on the Crystal Stars, or platforming in stages like Super Mario Bros. Every time when Bowser finds meat to eat, he can grow. No matter how many he gets, he can still grow. Plus, the game was nice enough to give Luigi something to do. More on that later. Now, I especially love this game. I love the crystal star moves and the badges with the time hits and Mario segments. I enjoy sneaking around and getting more information as Peach. I love burning everything to the ground as Bowser. Thousand Year Door is a game I would consider better than the first, and at this point, that's all I can ask for. The straw that broke the camel's back is actually my favorite in the Paper Mario spin-offs. Let's talk plot. While it seems simple, Super Paper Mario's story is actually pretty interesting, and actually really dark. Count Bleck and Dimentio are some of my favorite villains, especially Count Bleck with how he grows from a generic destroyer into a man who has absolutely nothing left. In terms of our heroes, we have 4. Super Paper Mario's gameplay is a platformer with RPG elements like an EXP bar that grows every time you defeat an enemy, and each character brings something new to the table. Mario is the basic platforming as well as having the ability to flip from 2D to 3D. Peach returns a bit to her Mario 2 and Super Princess Peach roots, as she can float in the sky by holding the 2 button. Plus, she can use her parasol to defend from descending enemies. Bowser is the strongest of the 4, but he's slow and can breathe fire by pressing down. Also, he's a joy at rave parties. Also, we get to play as Luigi, just after defeating a villain named Mr. L in the previous chapter. Anyways, Luigi is obviously very similar to Mario, but when Luigi presses down, Luigi can shrink and launch himself into the air, making him awesome for Chapter 7. This game started the trend of having one specific partner that is important to the plot, and I gotta say, Tippy makes a pretty good first impression. She's able to get info on various things like Goombario and Goombella of the past, but much, much more. Plus, for once, I'm not gonna spoil it here, but the story surrounding Tippy is just tragic. However, in replacement for partners, we get pixels which act as different attacks Mario, Peach, Bowser, and Luigi can perform, almost as an addition to the characters themselves. For example, Boomer can let you use a bomb, Carrie can carry you around, and makes Bowser incredibly dangerous since he is no longer slow. Dashel, an optional pixel, can make you move faster as well, and Cudge acts as your hammer. Honestly, with everything Super Paper Mario has, I really have to give it my recommendation. Okay, good things about Sticker Star. The music's nice, and I find the gameplay to be somewhat enjoyable. Let's just get into what you expect from Sticker Star. I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist. Let's talk about the story. It's literally just Mario and Peach going to the Calberg for the Star Comet Festival. Bowser wants this power, so he breaks it, and it splits into 6 royal stickers, with him kidnapping Peach in the process because Mario. And unlike the previous games, it's Mario from beginning to end. There is no Peach gameplay, no Bowser, hell, Luigi is nowhere to be seen, and no partners again. But there are escort missions for uninteresting toads, emphasis on uninteresting, more on that later. And our high important character this time is the bothersome and annoying Kirsty. I'm not a fan of hers. Plus her sticker ability is kind of dull. I mean, you're technically terraforming, but it's really just putting a sticker on something. And that takes the space for your attacks too. You get a book full of stickers and those are your attacks. Unless you have stickers, you cannot attack. Also, all of the timed hits this time are boiled down to just the A button. Plus, your only reward from battles are coins, which can be used in the slots so that you can get more than one attack in during those extra important fights, like the boss fights. Oh no. However, the issue is that, well, it's dull. If you really want to play this game, sure, but I recommend waiting for a price drop, which should happen already. This game's kinda old. But I don't recommend this one, especially since I heard this game started out as a 1000-year door port. I don't want to sound like an annoying thousand-year door stuck-off straw man, but seriously, why didn't we just get that instead? Up! That won't be necessary this time. I actually like this game. Let's start with Color Splash's story. Sure, it's almost just as simple as Sticker Stars, but this time, the difference is humor. I know they're all nameless toads, but these nameless toads, and even the Ranger team, everybody has a fun and witty one-liner at some point. Trust me, nobody's taking this shit seriously. Even if it seems dangerous and at times a bit perverse. Yeah, I won't be forgetting that. Plus, Huey is actually interesting as he grows to actually care about you, and Huey's ability gives you a little 2D section to get to the other side. Plus, with the cards, and while yes, you still need them to attack. However, I find it more fun to flip the cards I power up with paint from my gamepad to the TV, making a good use for the Wii U. Plus, you get more paint as you explore, making me feel like I'm actually getting stronger. So yeah, I enjoy Color Splash. If I may say this, Color Splash is definitely the thousand-year door to Sticker Star, as it got a large amount of people to enjoy Color Splash from what it used to be Sticker Star. And I agree. The Paper Mario series is definitely something I recommend you check out, as it has that unique style to it that makes it almost irresistible to me. Super Paper Mario is honestly one of my favorite games of all time, with so far Mega Dimension Neptunia V2 and Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker beating it. Plus, it's interesting to me with how different the games can be from each other to see what kind of thoughts can come from other people. All the more reason to give these spin-offs a try. With that said, I'm Pcuspard, and see you next game.